On October 10, 1845, 50 midshipmen and 7 professors began the first classes at the Naval School, established at a 10-acre army post in Annapolis, Maryland, known as Fort Severn. That school, which became the 4-year Naval Academy by 1850, has continued to grow, adapt, and evolve, in keeping with the demands of the day's Navy and the character and qualities of the nation and the world. An early curriculum incorporating gunnery, steam, and French now includes cyber operations, nuclear engineering, and Arabic. But the commitment to developing leaders for command, citizenship, and government remains unchanged. Now, as we mark this milestone and honor 175 years of Naval Academy leadership, service, and tradition, we look with even greater anticipation at the next 175 years. At the objectives and priorities of today's Academy, at the critical work Naval Academy alumni are undertaking in every aspect of American society, at the talents and principles of the young men and women who will become our next generation of Navy and Marine Corps officers. We look to them and we celebrate.
Well, 175 years of Naval Academy history really represents decades and decades of resilience, grit, determination, and relevance. And we had the Civil War, Spanish flu, World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, the Gulf War, War on Terror, and now the modern-day Cold War that we find ourselves in, along with COVID-19. And I know there's a long blue line of graduates that have been relevant to every single decade of those challenges. The degree of humility that I find in the most successful of our alumni is sometimes amazing to me, because they really do absorb the tradition of service to country before self, service to others before self, service to community before self.
The concept of Naval Academy tradition is really, really important. A midshipman will always look back and see those that have come before him or her and what they've contributed to the nation. And that's a tradition that's an inspiration to all of us to continue to live up to, a reputation to live up to, and to carry on.
This is the place where our tradition and legacy in the Navy lives, and it's forged. I think standing in T-Court is a prime example right here. But I think the biggest part for me is that this institution is here since 1845, and it's going to be here long after I leave. This 47-month experience for me, and I hope to leave the brigade in a better spot than I found it.
Something that inspires me is knowing the legacy of those who have come before me as a midshipman. People like Miss Janie Mines, class of 1980, who was the first African-American female midshipman. Knowing that she walked the same stribling walk every single day, but the difference between her experiences and mine is that she was called racial slurs on a daily basis, but now I get to walk here and I get to follow in her footsteps and be her wildest dream. Those are the things that motivate me, just knowing that I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, and I hope that one day I can also be the giant that someone else can stand on my shoulders too.
The world we stepped into when we swore our oath on I-Day and the one we signed in 2 for 7 were completely different. Coming back from the coronavirus, global race relations, economics, information wars, Hopper Hall is evidence, Midshipman Diversity Team is evidence. We're working every day, and that's how we're going to evolve. It's just having that peer-to-peer relationship, and that's why we're operating right now. We can't do this virtually, we're doing it in person.
I'd hope in 175 years from now that we would have beat Army every year in every single competition, particularly football. I would hope that our graduates would be relevant to the societal challenges of whatever the climate and sea level rise challenges are. If there's exploration in space or interstellar exploration, I'd hope there'd be Academy graduates at the forefront of that. My hope for our Academy and our graduates and our alumni is that they'll be as relevant in 175 years as we are today to leading by example for the world and for the country.
I wish for the next generation of midshipmen to see the world. They say join the Navy, see the world, from the Strait of Hormuz to the Great Barrier Reef. I want them to see the world in terms of who you serve, slowing down, feeling that passion, that drive, that empathy, and knowing that as a leader, your job is to be one with a wider perspective, one to reach out and learn more.
My vision for the next generation of midshipmen is to be constant learners of their environment, to push beyond the limits of what they've experienced, what they've always known their entire life, push the glass ceiling up further and further, try to craft the environment that we want going forward.
The bond that keeps all of us together, current midshipmen and alumni, is the journey that we all take over the 4 years living by the Severn. When we look each other in the eye as graduates and we know what we endured, we know the pride that we have in the institution and the pride that we have in ourselves for having navigated it, that is an intrinsic bond between all of us that will continue.
On October 10th, 2020, and every year thereafter, gather together with Naval Academy family and friends far and wide. Share memories, toast achievements, look forward to the future. Make that day, this year and every year, Naval Academy Day.